following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. It is 4:02 p.m., time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. My name is Loyd Kirby. I am the marketing manager here at WLCN, and as we do most Tuesdays, we have guests from the area with upcoming event or just a message we want to help get the word out about. And today we've got a 2-for-1 special, I guess, as we have two guests in the studio. Jeanette Davis is with Recovery-Oriented Systems of Care, and Joe Meister is the police chief for the city of Lincoln. So, folks, thank you for joining us today. What brings you out here to the radio ranch?
Well, first, thank you for having us.
Oh, sure,
because,
absolutely.
Any avenue that we can have to share what's going on, we really appreciate. So we came today to share about our Breaking Barriers event.
Okay.
This is the first time that the recovery community has been able to partner with law enforcement, specifically with Lincoln Police Department, to host a joint event. We're going to have fun, guys. We're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers and some food. We're going to have music, some games to play. But we're also going to have some speakers. We're going to have some folks share their story. One of the things that we want to really do is recover out loud, right? And allow the community to see what recovery looks like and that it is possible. So we are excited because, let's tell the truth, recovery world and law enforcement, right? We don't always get together, right? Mm-hmm. There's a fear there that can come in. And what we hope to do is to create an environment where we can break that stigma, because I get to see you and you get to see me. You get to hear a little bit of my story and I get to hear some of yours. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're trying to do this weekend. Yeah,
as you mentioned there, it's a partnership, which when you think about it, it makes sense, but it maybe isn't sort of an obvious thing that makes sense. You hear about some of the headlines today about folks going to do their naturalization, and there are law enforcement officials there who are going to show up and whisk them away. I don't know if that might be a stigma or a fear that, hey, here's this recovery event. Oh no, here's the police. Or is something bad going to happen? But it's really more of trying to help the community rather than knuckle down and we're going to take you away, that kind of thing. Correct?
Absolutely. So that is the whole point of the event. The point of the event is to start breaking down stigma between law enforcement and those who suffered from addiction or other problems in their life. We don't want to create the impression that we can't help folks, because that's really what we're here to do. And the police department is working with ROSC and many other community partners like the Memorial Hospital and Trillium Place and just a whole host of people to provide more resources to our community that are very in a lot of need. So this event was kind of born out of working on that new initiative. Mm-hmm. So we look forward to partnering with folks, starting to break down some stigma and maybe change the perception from both sides.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you mentioned the event is taking place. When is it? Where is it? What are those kind of details?
So we will be at Hope on 5th outside. We're going to be outside and enjoy the weather in the grassy area there. That's 200 5th Street here in Lincoln. We'll be there from noon to 3. And like I said, we're going to have some food, some music playing, some games to play. But those speakers, and we're going to hear from Chief. He is one of our speakers, and the truth is, our community has been struggling, right? The answer for a lot of years was go there, wherever there was, because
Right.
we didn't have services available in our community. We are changing that, right? We are changing that. And there is truly a beautiful thing that's happening in our community, a collaboration we haven't quite seen before.
Right.
And so, when you say, folks being intimidated, to have the police, absolutely. Right? We have folks today whom, used to be on probation, and now they're, you sit on the other side of the desk on probation. That's, someone's watching over you. It's intimidating. But we have people now who sit across the desk, who are working with one another, who are, who
Right.
Who have been able to come back around and, add to what we're trying to do here. And that's what we want the community to see. We want to see our families too. Myself being someone with lived experience, we want folks to be able to know that recovery can and does happen. And that law enforcement, at least ours in Lincoln Police Department, is interested in building that relationship so that we can really help people,
Absolutely. I mean, to protect and serve. So here's part of the serving.
Yep,
Yeah.
and like I spoke about perception before, a lot of young or inexperienced or underexperienced police officers never met anybody who's been through recovery and turned their life around and showed that they could be successful. That's what we need to learn. We need to learn that it is possible and that we can help people to achieve that goal.
Very good. Once again, our guests are Jeanette Davis from the Recovery Oriented Systems of Care, or ROSC. I think I'll start saying that. That's not quite a mouthful. And Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister. If you have questions, 217-648-5510, the number to call. Or you can email those questions, any questions you might have about this event or about ROSC and the partnership between them and the police department. Email those questions, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. So we talked about this is an event to celebrate and promote recovery. Really, since COVID, the whole, not just recovery, but I mean mental health in general, which sometimes is tied to recovery and sometimes is a separate issue.
Well, I tell you that substance use disorder is a mental health issue.
Okay. So folks who are struggling to recover, but maybe there is no drug or
Correct.
chemical abuse being, those types of things are encompassed by this event and celebrating recovery as well, correct?
Absolutely. We understand and recognize that it comes in all forms, and there are multiple pathways to recovery, but we embrace all those who struggle with mental issues. Substance use disorder is, the thing that stands out, right, and is kind of set apart because it has different, arms, I guess. But at the end of the day, it is a mental health issue, and we want to help all those that are struggling.
Absolutely. So we're at 10 past the hour, so we'll go ahead and take our first break. Once again, if you have questions of Jeanette Davis or Chief Meister, feel free to call us, 217-648-5510, or email your questions, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more from Jeanette and Chief Meister. Purchase a chicken sandwich from Culver's of Lincoln, and you could help the restaurant win $15,000 for its workers. The Culver's Company is holding a contest between all its stores to introduce their 3 new chicken sandwiches. The store with the most growth in chicken sales over the previous year wins the contest. The Lincoln location has been among the leading stores so far, but they need your help. Buying any of the 3 new Culver's chicken sandwiches counts in the contest, whether it's the grilled chicken, crispy chicken, or spicy crispy chicken, made juicier, crispier, and tastier.
That's the way we like it, baby.
Culver's of Lincoln has a long history of supporting the community through fundraising nights, donating a portion of sales to schools, nonprofits, and other organizations in the area. And now, here's our chance to say thank you. The contest runs through August 10th, so get out to Culver's and help the team bring home the bacon with your purchase of chicken. Culver's, home of the Butterburger. Home of the 3 new chicken sandwiches, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. And we're back on the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN. Once again, our guests are Jeanette Davis with Recovery Oriented Systems of Care, Police Chief Joe Meister, and our new cat Dolly has decided she wants to be heard as well. We invite you to tune into next week's show. That will be the show flip-flop guests. Normally, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch is here on the first Tuesday of the month, but with the event coming up, the Breaking Barriers event, we wanted to get these folks on today. So Mayor Welch graciously agreed to change his appearance, so he will be with us next week. And as I said, Jeanette Davis and Police Chief Joe Meister are here with us today. So you mentioned that the Breaking Barriers event is happening, but there's actually several events and public awareness initiatives that are happening over the next few weeks. Can you kind of tell us what's going on in that realm?
Absolutely, I'd love to share. We have some 4 major events coming up. So again, let's see. Overdose Awareness Day is August 31st. That does land on a Sunday this year, but we are going to have that live panel to discuss harm reduction and naloxone. And again, we're going to have a panel of people whom lives were saved by naloxone and someone who has saved the life of someone using naloxone. This is a great opportunity to come with your questions. We're going to be Facebook Live also, so if you can't come out, that's an avenue. Logan County Recovers Together is our site on Facebook, but we're going to have a really candid conversation, and we understand that harm reduction can be a little bit controversial, and I think it's because people really don't understand. So we want to create spaces to educate each other. So again, that event will be at Hope on 5th. Again, that's 200 5th Street in Lincoln. That will be Sunday, August 31st at 3 p.m. So that is our event after our Breaking Barriers. And then we're going to move into our recovery walks, or our Walk for Recovery. Our organization does serve Mason County as well, so we are going to have a recovery walk in Havana, Illinois, on September 20th, noon to 3. And then we're going to have our recovery walk here in Lincoln, and that's the following weekend on the 27th of September. And again, it'll be 12 to 3. We will be honoring those we've lost during that time, but also we have speakers that are going to share. It's a really beautiful time. And again, if you've never heard someone's story, if you've never, you wonder, maybe you're a loved one that is watching someone struggle. This is a great opportunity to come out and get some hope, to hear. We know that we can't save everyone. But doggone it, we're going to do all we can to help. And part of helping, I think we believe, is educating the community. And so we look at these events, not just to, of course we want to have fellowship and connect, but we really want to educate people and give people space, a safe space for them to be hopefully courageous to ask the questions that they're wondering. Come talk to people. Let me share something too. If you're interested and you are talking with someone with lived experience and you have questions and you feel like we'll get offended, ask us. Ask us, right? We want you to know. We want to share. So I just kind of throw that in there for free. But again, we want to not just have these events to share about and share people's story, but to educate, right? To fill in some blanks that you may have.
Sure. And like you mentioned, it may not necessarily be an individual themselves going through it. It might be a loved one, a caretaker, a child, a coworker. Could be any of those things. The Walk for Recovery you mentioned is on the 27th. That takes place at Scully Park, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I think I saw another note here to folks should try to wear purple.
Yes.
To celebrate recovery from addiction, mental health concerns, and life challenges. So. And then you also mentioned that September is part of a month-long awareness campaign as well.
Yes. So September is recognized as Recovery Month. And so there are going to be, actually, there's a really big push through our state to turn it purple in September.
Okay.
That's something that we didn't really organize this year as far as throwing it out as a campaign. But that is a way to show that, hey, I'm a safe place, the color purple. Yeah, it's fun. Actually, last year, the tower in Chicago was recognized and shined purple.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's actually one of my coworkers that kind of pushed that initiative. They heard it, they liked it, and did it. So
okay, very cool. Well, we now have courthouse lights that change colors.
True.
So
True.
maybe some Logan County board members are listening and can help make the courthouse purple as well. So, Chief Meister, we talked a little bit about sort of the stigma of law enforcement and substance abuse, and how they're more maybe the mindset or the stigma is that it's like one versus the other.
Right.
But you also mentioned how law enforcement really, to protect and serve, again, serving if you encounter an individual who perhaps is under the influence or habitually under the influence, I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that you and your staff are more of the mindset of, hey, let's try to keep this individual safe, let's keep the community safe, let's try to help this individual, that you aren't going out there thinking, okay, good, I get to cuff someone or tase them or whatever it is. It's more of a helping sort of a mindset rather than an adversarial one.
Absolutely. So the history of law enforcement is typically we're very aggressive in making drug arrests or DUI arrests or something like that. And I'm not saying that we're not going to continue to enforce the law, but issues arise such as frequent calls for nuisance type calls, vagrancy at gas stations, mini marts, somebody just acting strangely and causing a disturbance. A lot of times that's a product of substance use or mental health problems or a combination of both. To arrest that person is not the right response. We tried that. It didn't work, right? And doing something over and over again and expecting different results is what? Definition of insanity, right? So why would I encourage my officers to continue addressing an issue with a tool that we know does not work, that history has proven just doesn't resolve the issue at hand? That's why we're working on this new initiative, a new way to respond to these problems and actually get folks the help that they need. So the criminal behavior, the root cause of it is addressed instead of just the moment at hand.
Right, treating the disease rather than just the symptoms, so to speak.
And that's not the job of law enforcement. Law enforcement cannot cure addiction. Law enforcement cannot cure mental health concerns. We have to facilitate getting those folks to the people who can help cure those problems.
Okay. Once again, our guests are Jeanette Davis and Joe Meister. Jeanette's with the Recovery-Oriented Systems of Care. Joe Meister is the police chief of Lincoln, and that takes us into our second break. So we'll go ahead and step away for 2 minutes, and we'll be back with more about this topic we're discussing right after this. Purchase a chicken sandwich from Culver's of Lincoln, and you could help the restaurant win $15,000 for its workers. The Culver's Company is holding a contest between all its stores to introduce their 3 new chicken sandwiches. The store with the most growth in chicken sales over the previous year wins the contest.
The Lincoln location has been among the leading stores so far, but they need your help. Buying any of the 3 new Culver's chicken sandwiches counts in the contest, whether it's the grilled chicken, crispy chicken, or spicy crispy chicken, made juicier, crispier, and tastier.
That's the way we like it, baby.
Culver's of Lincoln has a long history of supporting the community through fundraising nights, donating a portion of sales to schools, nonprofits, and other organizations in the area. And now, here's our chance to say thank you. The contest runs through August 10th, so get out to Culver's and help the team bring home the bacon with your purchase of chicken. Culver's, home of the Butterburger. Home of the 3 new chicken sandwiches, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN. Once again, our guests are Jeanette Davis from Recovery Oriented Systems of Care and Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister. 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have questions, comments, anything, a story to share perhaps. Or you can email your questions 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We were talking during the break about how this is things that have sort of changed lately, whereas we talked about the stigma of chemical dependence and mental health issues, and where maybe the mindset before used to be, we kind of need to separate and or in the case of law enforcement, arrest and detain people, whereas now it's more of a helping, trying to get folks the resources we need. You mentioned during the break, Jeanette, that there's been more of an uptick in folks that are referred to you, as well as just the ability here in Logan County for folks to find resources locally versus having to go to a larger city. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Folks, we got people out here that need help, that are hurting, and we do have some resources we've never had before. So we're excited about that. We have SIU, who is offering a medical assisted recovery right here in Lincoln. We have Hope on Fifth, that is a big partner. Salvation Army is stepping in, community action, and so we are really bounding together. And I do want to mention a little bit about just a tad bit about the deflection program, because that's really what stirred up and brought us together. And so we are working on a initiative through the state, and ours is called Bridge. And there's more to come, but I will tell you that this is what I really wanted to mention, that Chief is the exception right now. The words that he said and shared make sense, right? Mm-hmm. But I will say to you that, again, many other chiefs do not feel or have stopped to think differently than arresting. So I always want to give my gratitude, because we cannot really move this initiative forward without this partnership. This is a vital partnership. Sure. That we are developing, and as we continue to grow it up and build it up. But if it's not from leadership that says, let's move in a different direction. We couldn't do this. His influence on his officers are going to change the trajectory of people's lives, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we forget that this is people's lives, and we want to do something to aid and help people to thrive in their life, right? Like you said, we can't arrest the addiction out of someone. We can't arrest the mental health struggles out of someone. And to have our law enforcement leadership step in, and I will say he's 10 toes down. I mean, it's blessed me. And if I'm transparent a little bit, this right here, sitting next to him, being here with you, I could have never imagined it a day, right? There was a day that I could never, ever have imagined that this would be my life, that I would be a part of this. And so I'm kind of a little mind blown and grateful because we've been working so hard. We've been working so hard to bring people together, for people to give us an opportunity to say, yes, we do recover. See us, learn about us, right? So I'm sorry to get emotional, but it is a very emotional thing because someone took the time with me, and that's why my life changed, right? And many people, I'm going to say one part, many people shared with me and deposited things into me, and to be here I'm humble. I'm absolutely humble. And to tell him, he says, I'm just, and I love your humility. But the fact is that his title and the responsibility that he carries, joining with us and what we're trying to do, really is a game changer.
Sure.
I do believe that strongly. So I'm just grateful again. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for not doing it quietly, for stepping out and doing something that not everyone is doing.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Jeanette. I'm just very blessed to work with not just Jeanette, but the entire team on the initiative that she spoke of. And even though it's not up and running yet, there's a lot of passion in that group. There's a lot of people that care very much about their community and very strongly about those who are out there struggling to recover. And I think it's going to be an absolute success just due to the people involved in it and the passion that they have for it. It'd be hard to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of occurred to me that even though you as the chief and sort of the trickle-down effect of the mindset of helping and rather than punishing or arresting away addiction or whatever it might be, that does not mean, I shouldn't even say necessarily, that does not mean you're lightening up on the war on drugs or anything like that. But there's a big difference between someone who's maybe got a carload of something they're looking to distribute or sell or whatever versus an individual who's down on their luck and addicted and struggling individually.
Correct. I'm glad you brought that up, Loyd, because it is something that the community may take concern with if they hear
Right.
not going to arrest. I'm not talking we're not going to arrest people. My job is law enforcement.
Right.
It's going to always be law enforcement, and the same with the rest of the police department. But every situation calls for an assessment, and we do have discretion, knowing that the root cause of a low-level offense like trespassing at a gas station and somebody not leaving because they're intoxicated and they won't listen, dealing with that as an arrest versus a deflection. If I arrest that person for a low-level offense, I'll do it 20 more times that weekend.
Right.
Whereas I could deflect them once and maybe see a positive result, and actually help the community.
Sure.
Not just that person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've talked on other occasions with the current state of law enforcement and the laws that Springfield has handed you with the Safety Act. Even if you do arrest them, chances are it's if the goal of arresting is to get them out of trespassing or whatever, chances are they're going to have the ability to be right back there again anyway. So
correct. And I'll be clear, I've already made it very well known with everybody that I'm working with, zero tolerance on drug dealing. If there are delivery offenses involved, it won't be a deflection. There'll be an arrest, but that's another thing that I'd like to speak about. Even in cases where it's a crime against a person or a higher level drug offense that an arrest needs to be made and the prosecution needs to be informed of, That doesn't mean we can't divert that person.
Yes.
They can go to jail. They may be facing a criminal court case, but we can still offer them the same services, the same help to address the problem that we do even in a diversion or a deflection situation where it would be pre-arrest. So all folks are going to be offered these services no matter what legal issues they are facing.
And while we're in the area of law enforcement, I'm sure you see all the social media posts about, hey, this person's in my yard, or hey, I see this person across the street, or riding this other person's bike, or so forth or so forth. Again, an arrest, if there's someone stealing property or whatever, maybe that's at least a part of an appropriate response. But as you were speaking there about sort of the change in mindset, the thing that came to mind with me is, what's the saying? Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but teach him to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. Right. If you arrest that person and say, no, you can't do this, okay, maybe that changes the course of that event. But again, if you can get them the resources and the help and so forth, hopefully that not only deters them from that event, but then in the future they'll hopefully have the resources to make better choices and such as that.
That's the whole idea. Got a good understanding of it.
All right. Well, I understood something, so congratulations. You taught me something. But speaking of understanding, if we could go over the date once again of the Breaking Barriers event, just so folks are aware of what's going on with that.
Absolutely. Our Breaking Barriers event will be August 9th, this Saturday, at Hope on 5th, which is 200 5th Street in Lincoln, Illinois. We will be there from noon to 3, and all are welcome.
Okay. And the flyer says free and open to all, delicious food, powerful speakers, fun and games. And if folks have questions, they can give you a call, 217-871-3208.
Correct.
Is that correct? All right. So anything else we haven't covered that you all want to talk about? Or
Well, anyone that's listening, if you have someone who is suffering, or maybe you're suffering, the shame is not asking for help. The shame is suffering by yourself. So please feel free to reach out. We're here. You're not alone. There are resources here today that we have not had before, and we want to walk alongside you. I just want to say that. Yeah.
Chief, you look like a light bulb went off when I said that.
No, I agree. The resources that we have locally that have popped up here recently are beyond what I ever could have imagined. There were resources that I wasn't aware of that were already operating within our area, and because I didn't know, I couldn't offer that help to people. Now we know, and like at the Lincoln Police Department, we carry flyers that ROSC provided us that shows all the different resources. There's also other groups like the Family Guidance Center that we have flyers and information from, Trillium, Chestnut, just all kinds of stuff. So anybody who is interested, come up to the Lincoln Police Department. Take a look in our lobby. We've got some flyers on the wall, and then we have some handouts as well that will help you get to where you need.
Okay, very good. So once again, we talked about the Breaking Barriers event. That happens Saturday, August 9th, noon to 3 p.m. at Hope on 5th, located at 200 5th Street in Lincoln. And if folks want to learn more about that event or more about some of the upcoming things, the Walk for Recovery, what was the ROSC Facebook page again?
Yes, Logan County Recovers Together.
Okay, very good. Well, Jeanette, Chief Meister, thanks for joining us once again. And as I mentioned, next week our guest will be Mayor Tracy Welch. He backed his appearance up a week so we could get information out about this. So
thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, thank you to Mayor Welch. And we'll be back with you on behalf of Chief Joe Meister and Jeanette Davis. I'm Loyd Kirby. Thank you for listening and watching. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.